Boxing truth here. The boxing world was awaiting the next move of Luis Ortiz. Since the fight with Usmanov didn't go down, he pulled out of the bout, and it was expected that, given the track record of a lot of Cuban fighters, that Luis Ortiz was going to make another bad business decision after pulling away from Golden Boy, buying himself out of that contract, and then waiting a long time for the next move of Luis Ortiz. But the good news, he's made an interesting move. He signed with Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. Eddie Hearn has the platform, he has the dates, he can keep fighters active, and Eddie Hearn is rising up in the boxing world, sending a message to American promoters that he's a big-time player, that he can actually threaten and court some fighters across the pond, perhaps even have fighters that are usually showcased in America actually sign promotional deals with Eddie Hearn, a UK-based promoter. So it's an interesting signee, adding Luis Ortiz to his stable. The bad news is, well, according to Dan Rafael, he just reported that Luis Ortiz is no longer the interim champion of the WBA, since he was ordered by the sanctioning body to fight Ustinov and it didn't take place. So now I guess he's no longer the interim champion, no longer the number one contender or in position to fight the regular or the full champion of the WBA. So now he's taking a stay busy fight with Malik Scott in Monaco. And it's actually a pretty decent card. Jason Sosa's on the card. He's going to fight Stephen Smith. Martin Murray's on the card. He's going to have his rematch with Offer Abraham. And then the main event, of course, will be Luis Ortiz against Malik Scott, a guy who took a dive against Deontay Wilder. In a stay busy fight for Luis Ortiz, as Eddie Hearn is going to try to raise the profile of Luis Ortiz as best as he can, turn him into a draw or getting much more known out, not just among boxing circles. It's going to be interesting to see how Eddie Hearn progresses Luis Ortiz's career. He was not very overly enthusiastic about signing Ortiz. He gave it some thought, wasn't quick to sign with him, was negotiating with Ortiz's people, then he ended up signing him, and now he's part of the Matchroom stable. So the plan is to get Ortiz at least 2 fights this year, at the end of the year. The fight in Monaco against Malik Scott, then of course get him back on the undercard of Anthony Joshua's next fight, which possibly could be against Vladimir Klitschko, and then bring him over to America to fight, and then see if he can get the big fight, money fight for him in the summer of next year, whether it's the WBO title, whoever holds that strap, whether it's David Haye fight. We all know Hearn's not going to make the Joshua fight just yet. He's gonna marinate it as much as he can, because right now Luis Ortiz, nobody fights him, or he's the most avoided heavyweight because he's very dangerous, he's very skilled, he's very powerful, and he doesn't bring much economic muscle to the table. He's not going to make you rich to fight him. So Eddie Hearn's job is to build his profile, get him the fights, get him active, have him become a bigger draw, so where there's no excuses for the top level heavyweights not to fight him. They'll make a lot of money in fighting him if Eddie Hearn can do his job in promoting him right and raising his profile. That's all they have to do in order to get these guys in the ring with him. So he has to pick up a strap, he has to beat some names in order for these guys to fight him. So interesting deal going on between Ortiz and Eddie Hearn. It just shows that Eddie Hearn is becoming a player. He's doing big things. He signed his first international fighter, and let's see if this can become a trend to where some fighters that are based in America could actually see potential and upside and actually signing with a UK-based promoter in Eddie Hearn. I mean, Eddie Hearn, he has his exclusive deal with Sky Sports. He's got a lot of dates. He keeps his fighters very active, and he has the ability to turn his fighters into pay-per-view stars over in the UK. He's done it with Joshua. He was able to get the big money fight for Kell Brook. And let's see what he does with Luis Ortiz. Hopefully he can get him the fights, as Ortiz, he's getting up there in age. The clock is ticking. He's 37 years old according to BoxRec, but he could be much older than that. We really don't know how old Luis Ortiz is. But it'd be nice to see him fight the David Hayes, even a Klitschko or a Deontay Wilder. Be great to see Luis Ortiz in those type of fights. He may be the best heavyweight in the world. You watch him fight, he's very skilled. He's got the pedigree, southpaw stance, tremendous uppercuts, tremendous power. He's a hell of a fighter, but he just needs the names, he needs the resume to back it up. He needs to fight the fights, or we'll never know how good Luis King Kong Ortiz is. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.